From the darkest corners of Tumblr comes a podcast where we take two of your favorite fictional characters, get them together, and ask, do we ship it? It's good to say that again. Welcome back to Ships in the Night, everybody, in the year 2020.
Or should we say 2020? That's right. New year, new snacks in the studio. We have cheese, we have crackers, we still have water. That was always in the studio. But the important thing is, I, Greg Goodness, and my co-host Zach Wilson are upping our snack game for the new year.
Look, we have sesame crackers, Greg. There are sesame seeds
crackers
baked into the cracker.
Ooh, my.
I don't know how much classier we could have gone. And we wanted to step up our game for this new decade of shipping. And we want to welcome our guest for today's show, the very classy, the one and only, a BuzzFeed video creator. It's CHLOE ZAK.
Oh, hi. I'm classy. What?
Well, you're classy by being associated with the brie that we've brought into the studio.
I'm pretty sure brie is European. You're British.
Yes, it's French.
Jesus, Zach, you're showing your cheese ignorance already.
Anyway, CHLOE, thank you so much for joining us. I'm excited for these ships. Let's dive into our first couple, Ross from Friends and Barney the Dinosaur from the classic child show Barney and Friends.
Oh, Barney and Friends. See, that's how much I don't know it. I'm like, it's Barney from Barney.
I mean, look, I was a Sesame Street kid, but I knew about Barney growing up. I mean, look, I see the connection. I see why somebody would pick this. He's a paleontologist hooking up with a dinosaur. You can only study dinosaurs for so long before you just fall for them.
I mean, it's got to be a fantasy he had, right? Like, he's in college learning about dinosaurs. And he's just like, that could be something. And then just starts dreaming about them. Maybe finding some porn of
I totally see. He's like got a porno magazine in his paleontology textbook. Like he's hiding it in class. You know, classic sitcom style.
This is Ross having studied way too hard and staying up way too late for his final, drifts away watching some children's television at like 3 p.m, and then all of a sudden the horrid things that come to his mind.
This is a horror. So is this just a horrifying dream sequence in Ross's mind?
I kind of hope it's not. I hope it's real. I also don't know, like, what Barney would see in Ross. I could totally see what Ross would see in Barney, but I want to know, like, why they got together. Like, why was it not just Ross, like, chasing Barney and it was, like, unrequited?
Well, we got to start with the meet cute of how these two get together. I can totally see if we're writing this story out, it does start as a dream, and maybe we're playing with that, like, is this a dream thing the whole time? Is Ross just like, maybe this isn't college, like this is young Ross Geller studying
experimenting
dinosaurs, and maybe he's out on a dig.
He just finds him in the ground. He finds Barney's bones in the ground, puts it together, makes a Barney.
He finds a mosquito trapped in amber.
And suddenly becomes Jurassic Park featuring Barney.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying here.
All right.
You know, I don't think that is like super far off. Like, okay, so we have Ross Geller. It's the early 90s. It's the beginning of the computer age where anything is supposedly going to be possible.
It's literally 1994.
Yeah.
It's got to be before that, though, because that's when Friends started, right?
It was like 98, right? It was when Friends started.
Oh, maybe. No, I think it was...
Was it earlier?
You know
what?
I don't know. Than that, yeah.
I think it was earlier. So he was not in college when he was in Friends, so...
Yeah,
I was just... be like 1990. Let's say
it's
that.
Even better. It's like DOS era computers, like stuff flying on the screen. And then he's on this dig. They're sequencing the DNA. And while he is watching children's television and sequencing this DNA, lightning strikes.
Oh!
And through the combination of TV waves and MS-DOS computing lines and the mosquito trapped in amber from the prehistoric age, It's what comes to life, but everyone's favorite dinosaur, Barney.
That's a lot less scary than the fly, which is what it sounded like.
It's equally terrifying at the time. For everyone around Ross, they are just screaming and their faces are like melting. And Ross just hears like, look around your world, pretty baby, is it everything?
I like how every romance in our show somehow winds up with that song playing.
Yep,
That is the perfect song. I do understand that.
So this is what, so Ross, he beats Alan Grant to the dinosaur, to making the dinosaurs.
yeah.
And Barney just springs to life. Does he come to life fully formed?
I
Like
think
full
so.
size,
He's just like, hey!
quote unquote
like-
adult Barney.
Oh, yeah, for sure. This is absolutely fully formed Barney. And
I
I
don't-
guess coming into his own Ross Geller.
Yeah.
I'm going to say I don't know that Barney is an adult on the show, but for the purposes of the podcast, we are
18.
assuming that he
Yeah.
is an adult.
He is
We're gonna say
18
that.
million years old for the purposes of the podcast. Yeah.
So it's then Ross's job to take Barney out and like teach him, or does Barney come to life like knowing like he just he springs to life? I love you.
No, I think maybe he like takes him under his wing and like shows him the sights, the city, the bright lights, and they like spend a beautiful evening together, maybe, and maybe sparks start to fly.
Barney, all of my friends always talk about how boring I am. I'm going to take you to my New York City apartment, and boy, howdy, I'm going to have the last laugh on this one. Monica thinks she's so fancy being a chef and everything.
Well, this
Chandler
would
has
be-
his fancy PR job.
This would be when Monica's like fat, and that's what the show called her.
That's
to be
true.
fair.
I know. It was very, very weird. If you rewatch any of those like flashback episodes and she's got a fat suit on, it is so not today. Like
It's very uncomfortable.
It's so uncomfortable. I watched one
So
recently.
these two start dating. Barney and Monica. Barney and
Well,
Monica.
that's a different
That's a
podcast.
totally different episode, or maybe no. Ross and Barney start dating, but like his sister has to be judging him for this, right?
I would assume so.
Yeah, all of his friends are definitely going to be like, you can't date. I don't know why one of them is Jerry Seinfeld now. Jerry Seinfeld popped by for a very special episode of Friends. You can't date a dinosaur.
I mean, it's the same city, same time period.
Yeah, exactly. This is the crossover everyone's wanted.
Yeah.
No, I think, Chandler is definitely going to be like, could you be any more of a dinosaur fucker? Like, he's not going to be into it at all.
I feel like Joey might be. Joey's the only one who maybe would be okay because he's so fucking weird.
How you dino.
There you go.
Yeah.
Joey maybe is how Barney ends up getting into television.
Oh.
Like, because they're all hanging out, and Barney starts getting, he's like, tell me about this acting career.
Right.
And Barney enrolls in the College of Dramatic Arts at wherever Ross went to school.
Oh my god, starts doing like mask work and stuff like that. Movement.
Yeah.
Barney, be a tree. So
I got accepted into Tish.
oh god. But these two are they're now like they're going to school together. It's a classic college romance.
Wait, Barney's in school?
Yeah,
I thought he was just a dinosaur.
Oh no, Barney's got to go to school.
Oh,
If
okay.
he's gonna learn. He's got to learn how to be an actor now.
Oh, that kind of school. I thought you meant like with him, like learning about his own kind, which is dinosaurs.
No. I assume Ross went to a university that has multiple
Right.
schools.
I was just like, no, just paleontology. It's the only thing this school does.
But I do wonder if Ross's paleontology teachers are going to start being like, you need to bring that dinosaur into the lab. We have to
yeah.
study him. Because this is where, it's just like Act 2 where stuff starts to go rough.
Yeah.
Where Ross is like being promised, like, we can get you all kinds of grants to study things. Like, this is going to open up new realms of science if you bring him into the lab and we dissect
This
your
is like
boyfriend.
Shape of Water.
Oh.
This is literally that. We've accidentally written Shape of Water.
That is an Excellent comparison. I like that because it does start as a very friendly thing, but really quickly, all of not only is his professors going to push Ross into this, but I think his friends would as well. Like, you need to study this dinosaur. Like, this could be great for your career. You'll finally get a woman. Like,
Yeah.
if you do this, and he is now torn between his responsibility as a paleontologist and his desires as a lover.
Oh, I mean, that's gonna be a harsh choice, and Ross historically, or at least I guess it's in the future for this version of Ross, not a great decision maker.
No, that is true. Yeah.
What do you guys think? Like, he's basically presented with his dream career if he betrays his boyfriend.
Oh my God. Do you think he would?
What does he do?
Yeah.
What does Ross Geller do when asked to dissect his dinosaur boyfriend?
He just like walks in on him in the night, like while he's sleeping with a knife and just starts to dissect him.
Whoa! I was
really
thinking
harsh.
at very least they would euthanize him first.
No, it just turns into a horror movie.
Listen, Barney, I think we should take a break.
Oh, maybe.
We were on a break! When I dissected him, we were on a break.
Oh my God. Chloe, what do you think?
Well, I think maybe it's like an episode of Friends, like in the way that for the whole episode, he's really thinking about it. He nearly does it. He like gets him to the school and he's nearly going to hand him over to the teacher. But then like by act 3, it ends up that he's realizes his mistakes and ends up, taking him back to his apartment. And I don't know what happens after that.
But here's what I think would totally happen in a Friends episode is that he does try to stop. He's like, no, I can't do this. Absolutely not. But Barney picks up on what's going down.
Yeah.
In the moment, he's like, Ross, were you about to turn me over to the science department for dissection?
Why has he got a southern accent?
That's how Barney...
Dissection?
It's because I'm not great at impressions, and this is what Barney sounds like in my memory.
Honestly, I don't fully remember what he sounds like, so he could be a lovely southern gentleman.
He talks with this big, dark voice.
Yeah.
I'm kind of doing Ernie now.
Ross, I love everyone, but truly you're a monster.
I thought I loved you, and you loved me.
Right.
We were gonna be a happy family.
Oh,
That's so sad.
But now, get the fuck out of my apartment.
Maybe that's how it ends. Maybe Barney breaks up with him.
Yeah, because Barney realizes that Ross is not a good partner.
Yeah.
And was even considering this.
Yeah.
Because, if you found out that your significant other had even for a moment considered turning you over for murder and dissection to further their career, and let's make it a little more human, just was gonna do something bad to you to further their career.
Yeah.
Probably good to end that relationship.
Yeah. Yeah.
And also Barney is like, maybe I'll go take a teaching course.
So Barney's now a teacher?
Well, he's always been that actor, but he's also I think he's a nursery school teacher in that show.
Study early childhood development.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just switches courses.
Or he's
university.
he's one of those actors who has a psychology minor.
Yeah. He's like, I need the credits. What do I do? But then he falls in love with it.
Ross, you're holding me back from reaching my full potential.
And then, so there's a lot of awkward moments where they run into each other on the campus.
Yeah.
Where it's just
Maybe Ross.
fuck you, Ross.
Yeah.
Just swearing at him as they cross each other in the quad.
It does seem very on brand for Ross to be surpassed by a dinosaur. A former lover that is now doing infinitely better than him, even though he was the one who technically brought him to life to begin with.
And years later, in when is the future of Friends in 2020 or something? Is it now?
I remember when Emma the kid was supposed to be 18 is 2020.
Ooh.
So she just turned 18. Like,
when
right
she's
now.
18. Okay, never mind 18. When she's like 2 or something.
Well, he has a kid before Emma. Which everyone forgets about. Clearly, that's literally So he had a kid, Ben. Ben is his name.
Right.
Yeah. So he had a kid when Friends started, I think, and so he would have had to watch Barney when the kid was there.
It's exactly
like when he was babysitting the kid or his turn with the kid.
And in that moment, Ross is staring at the TV as Barney comes on, and he's like he's got Ben on his lap, and a tear just rolls down Ross's cheek.
Dad, is it true that you tried to cut up Barney? We were on a break! That's the most I know about Ross.
That's all you need to know.
Yeah.
I think that's the story right there.
Yeah.
I mean, it really comes down to now, at this point then, we know how it ends. Zach, do you want to ask the question?
Do we ship it?
Is this something that we want to actually see out in the Friends/Barney universe?
I feel really bad for Barney. It's a pretty shitty situation that Ross put him into. So I'm not sure I want to put Barney through that.
Yeah, I don't ship this. This is a ridiculous story, and I very much enjoy where it went. But no, I cannot ship this in good conscience.
This is like if Friends had gone on for another 5 years, and just this is the very last remnants of a cocaine-fueled writer's room where they're like, okay, we just got a bunch of tie-in money from PBS, and we need to figure out how to support the massive paychecks of the stars for the last season. Barney crossover.
Get some extra makeup on Schwimmer. Make him look like 15 years younger.
Yeah, exactly.
Put Rachel in some kind of bob wig, and then we're golden.
Get the fat suit again.
Yeah, bring it out.
That's just a furious, sweating NBC executive. Bring out the fat suit. We'll use one for Barney and one for Monica.
They're interchangeable.
Jesus. Okay, before this gets any worse and NBC starts like calling their lawyers, we're going to take a quick break and then come back with our second mischievous ship. Stick around. And we're back, and this one was sent in to us via email, which you can always send in your ship ideas to our not confusing email address, which is shipsinthenightingmail@gmail.com.
New year, same infinitely confusing email address.
At least it rhymes. It's kind of cute.
Well, thank you.
Yes. Thank you for being the only person to defend my choice of email address when shipsinthenight@gmail.com was taken. If you sent it there, I don't know who got that.
It's rebranding for the new year. It's not confusing. It's cute.
It's cute.
Well, this one, we've got Bart Simpson and Ariel, the Little Mermaid. Now, this one was a little bit confusing at first, but I think I see where this is coming from.
Please, because I have no fucking idea, Zach.
You've got two essentially children. Look,
Yes.
Bart is 10. We'll maybe age him up a little bit.
This is the Bart of future Simpsons episodes
Okay.
for the
But keep
purposes
in
of
mind
this podcast.
that Ariel is like 14
Yeah, she's pretty
in
young.
The Little Mermaid, at least in the Hans Christian Andersen Mermaid, and they don't clarify for the movie.
I think she's
so
16 in the
have
Disney
to,
one.
Yeah, but let's just assume she's 14 to get these two a little closer together, because again, that's the character's age in the original story, as messed up as that is.
Yeah.
But so, like, let's assume they're both 14, but they both absolutely love to defy their parents and get into trouble. Like, they have no respect for parental authority. What do you guys think?
My first question is, I'm assuming Ariel hasn't got her legs yet, so she is a fish. So I just don't really understand how, like, I guess she can breathe out of water, I think.
Yeah.
I feel like she can.
She sits out
pops
on
up.
rocks and
Yeah,
stuff.
she pops up occasionally. So maybe she'd have to, like, pop up on a rock and, like, or, like, pull herself onto the shore to meet him.
Well, I mean, Springfield does have a beach.
Does it?
Springfield has
is an
whatever
odd place, yeah.
whatever features they needed to have. Like,
Yeah.
There's a pier. that I think was like on the ocean.
I will say that I think there is a connective tissue here, even if you do want to keep her in international waters. Bart Simpson, famously for part of his boy band responsibilities,
Yes.
did join the Navy
Oh, wow.
for a quick hot minute.
I did not know that.
So
Yvonne et Niage.
exactly.
Pardon?
That was the song that they sung to subliminally get people to join the Navy.
Backwards, it says join the Navy.
Oh my god.
So I think that maybe this was, again, part of a cocaine-fueled writers' room meeting. The Join the Navy episode was originally supposed to be a two-parter. And we just discovered...
In the middle, there was a whole side adventure where
The B storyline that came along.
maybe just Bart fall overboard. Like, while he's like partying on too much candy during one of their like USO tour.
Oh, God,
things.
yeah. They're going around, they're singing, they're dancing. Homer gets super pissed for one reason or another, chases Bart Simpson off of the ship.
Ooh.
And who should come to Bart's rescue but a beautiful, well, can I say
Siren.
that? Because she's 14 years old?
It's kind of widely known she's beautiful, let's be honest.
Yeah, a young girl can be beautiful. Just don't get creepy about it.
Yeah. It's a platonic beauty that has no sexual undertones.
Yeah, okay, so it's one of Bart Simpson's many sort of puppy love phenomenons
Yeah.
where he falls off, hits his head on a rock,
Oh.
and then is rescued by the Little Mermaid. So they go off together. She is very curious about his spiky hair. She assumes that he's some sort of a sea urchin. And questions him and learns about his life on land. Because I would imagine she would grill him about it, right? It
Oh,
was
because
like,
she's obsessed with the land people.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
like, what are these things called? Shorts. Why do you eat them under the sun?
And Bart, who is at this point a pop star, not rock star, but a pop star. I was looking it up. The Party Posse.
Okay,
Took me a little while to remember.
What year was this? I haven't seen this episode.
This, I want to say early 2000s.
Okay. Wow. Never
This
knew
was like season 13 or something.
Okay. I feel like all right. Surprised I haven't seen it.
But yeah, I believe Justin Timberlake guest stars.
Oh, yeah.
If I remember. Available. This episode available now on Disney Plus. We have to get that in every so often or we get shut down. So these two are starting to hit it off. They're doing duets. They're learning about each other's cultures. Do they fall for each other right away? Because Ariel, I think, imprints on whoever she meets at that point in her life pretty heavily.
Yeah, I wonder though, has she already met Eric and Bart has to try and like sway her to like, because Eric was just on that ship. So I feel like did she see him a few times? Maybe not. Maybe she just saw him when he crashed. But it would be fun if she was kind of already into someone else.
That very much tracks for a Simpsons episode for me too.
Yeah.
That Bart needs to be like, oh, you're after a prince? Well, haha, baby, I'm Prince of Springfield. I am King El Barto.
Oh, yeah.
And you ain't seen nothing yet.
I like that.
So then is that the rest of this episode? Is him trying to prove to Ariel that he's better than some swashbuckling, blue-eyed bastard on a boat?
I totally see this going down where he's like trying to challenge Eric to sing-offs and stuff because he's in the middle. Like, keep in mind, Bart is world famous if we're putting him in the middle of the Party Posse episode.
Right.
Does he start getting like the rest of the boy band together for this? Like, I just want this whole episode to be a musical.
Oh, it could be though. It definitely could be.
That's really good. That Bart decides that he is going to have a musical off with Prince Eric and like prove to Ariel that he is the ultimate singer and or prince. That's pretty good. I can see that happening. That he like, but here's the thing. Prince Eric, I think, does not sing in that movie.
He does not.
So I do like the elaborate lengths that like Bart sneaks away from Atlantis and like gets all of his boy band like together. He straight up slingshots Prince Eric off of the boat and like ties him down. He's like, I'm going to show Princess Ariel that I'm the best singer and we're going to outdo Prince Eric. And they put on this elaborate stage show. We're talking starfish shooting in the air and like the crab conducting and everything. And it's like, haha, that's right. What do you have in response to that, Prince Eric? And he's just like, I don't sing. I just like, I like to be rich and I like to hang out on my boat.
I got a dog. That's about
it. Yeah.
So Bart just immediately wins, or like, is that it? He's just like, oh, I guess I win.
But that's the thing is he's like, yeah, I won. That's right. I have your heart now, Princess Ariel. And she's just like, singing was kind of my thing.
Oh, yeah.
So
that's so true.
He accidentally offends her.
Yeah.
Well, I guess, but here's the thing. Like, at some point, Ursula is going to get involved in this whole thing, and she's stealing somebody's voice.
Ooh, okay. This is interesting.
Oh, what if the twist in this story is that Eric traded something about himself for the ability to sing?
So that he could compete?
Yeah, like Ursula saw that this was all going down and went to manipulate the situation to steal the prince's soul or voice or whatever. What was her goal in that movie?
It was to keep Ariel trapped. Like, she wanted to take Ariel's soul so that she could like get King Triton to put down the crown and so she could have it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So that's why she took Ariel's
So she needs to get Ariel's, but now there's like multiple crowns in play
but
here.
Maybe she could just be a land, because she could do it to a prince and then just become a land princess.
Yeah.
Because it's still more powerful than she is. Prince Eric is more powerful than Ursula.
So she goes to she goes to become Prince Eric instead, and there's a blonde Prince Eric on land because I don't know, she changed hair colors when she became the version of Ariel.
Wait, because then there's two Prince Erics and then also Bart. Like, what's happening?
This got really out of hand.
This is too much.
But this is totally what would happen on The Simpsons, though, where stuff just starts going crazy and there's characters coming in from nowhere and everyone's confused.
I've got it though. So Prince Eric goes to Ursula and he's like, I can't sing, but I need to sing because I want to win against Bart. And so Ursula is like, fine, if I can have you afterwards to become the land princess, then you can have a voice. So he gets given a voice by Ursula in return for having to like live under the sea afterwards, which is fine because he loves Ariel. Right?
It's the ultimate irony, right? Is he's like, yeah, I'll give away my legs so that I can have a fantastic singing voice.
Yeah, just to win Ariel, but then Ariel doesn't even want him afterwards because he's no longer a prince. And so Bart ends up winning anyway because he's cooler.
Bart wins, but like there's no prize, and he's like, well, I won, I guess.
I can see this very much getting out of hand to where, like, listen, it's classic Bart Simpson that he is going above and beyond, getting into all sorts of these hijinks to win this contest. And at the end of the day, Ariel, I think, is just like, listen, I'm sorry, Bart, you're not my type. Like, you don't have impossibly pale skin and overly blue giant eyes.
Yep.
Your dog, while cute, is not nearly as well behaved as this other dog that Prince Eric has. Like, I'm sorry.
And also you slingshotted Sebastian and cracked his shell.
Yeah, exactly. So I would say that, listen, at the end of the day, this is more unrequited love for Bart Simpson.
Yeah.
If that's anything that we've learned from The Simpsons, that no one will ever love Bart
Oh
the
my
way
God.
that Bart loves them.
Poor thing.
It is like a very poor thing situation, but it does get him like back on the right track where she's like, I think you belong on land.
Yeah.
He finally like gets back onto the Navy ship. Homer like welcomes him back into his arms like, I know sometimes your heart can break, son, and it feels bad, but don't you worry, you can always come back to Springfield. He's like, but Dad, what about Atlantis? oh, I don't think you'll be hearing from them. And you just see like a cutscene to where a depth charge is floating down to the city of Atlantis.
Oh my god.
Homer bombed the city?
That was a turn right there. Didn't expect that.
This is Dark Homer. You have to remember, we've passed over to the period where like Homer is not just a befuddled idiot. He is an actively evil person.
I could actually see it more like, but they'll always be there, son, and you can go back and visit anytime. And then Homer leans on a button that drops the charge.
That's so much more like it.
And they all blow up. And eventually Ariel comes back up and is like, you bombed our city. And Bart just turns to her like, don't have a manatee, man.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, no.
You could have at least said sea cows.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. All right, so the question remains. We've reached the end. We've bombed the hell out of Atlantis, as is general U.S. military policy. True. Do we ship it?
No. This story we've concocted is absurd, and ridiculous. No one is better for it.
Okay, listen. Now hear me out on this. I say I ship it. If only so that we don't have to suffer through a goddamn live-action remake of The Little Mermaid, which I'm sure is already in development.
It's already there.
Yeah, it's been cast and everything, man. Where you been?
I don't want that. I
don't
want
want
the one. So if we just bomb the hell out of Atlantis, we don't have to see the live-action version of this.
Yeah, stop Disney in its tracks. That's the idea.
Nothing can stop Disney.
No.
Yeah, the mouse marches on.
What did they have? 7 out of 10 of the top grossing films of last year?
Yeah, exactly. One of them being the live action Aladdin.
And one of them being the quote unquote live action Lion King.
That is very quote unquote. Don't get me started on that.
That was a weird one.
2-1, agree to disagree.
All right. So we're going to take another quick break, and then we've got our Matchmaker segment, which I believe we won't be straying far from our Disney overlords. Stick around. And we're back, and it's time to open the doors for our dating service here at Ships in the Night. And Chloe, we understand that you have a friend that needs to find love.
Yes, I do have a friend. His name is Zazu. If you're not familiar, he's from The Lion King, the best movie of all time. Not the live action one, the original amazing one.
Mm-hmm. Although John Oliver, solid casting.
Although, yes, I do love John Oliver, but whatever. I have feelings about that movie. Anyway, the old movie. So Zazu is the king's right-hand man. He is very grumpy, but also has like a big heart underneath it all. He's very, very like particular and like about his job. He loves his job and he wants to do it very well. He loves his king. But he doesn't take any time to find love because he's just always working all the time. Like, I don't know if he ever like switches off, you know? Mm-hmm. So, and he also just comes across as quite like harsh to women, I think, because he's just a little grouch. So
we gotta find him some love.
He's also a bird.
So, you know. Fair. Yeah, that's a pretty major component of his character. Yeah. That's fair.
And I think we have a couple options for who we could set Zazu up with. So, yeah, let's just tell you about who we're thinking. So let me tell you about this other bird that's out there. Also brightly colored, loves to just get into all different kinds of shades of the rainbow, and I think is going to get Zazu to really come out of his shell. I'm talking about Toucan Sam, the mascot for Fruit Loops. Zazu really needs somebody who's going to show him the fun side of life. Like, he works all the time. He's got a lot of responsibilities, and I don't think that Toucan Sam is going to not understand that. Toucan Sam has been repping this brand for 30, 40, 50 some odd years. He knows that you have to work. He knows that sometimes the work is going to take you away from your friends, but he's also a sugar cereal man, and he knows how to cut loose and just get into all kinds of crazy. I think that when he gives Zazu a bowl of Fruit Loops for the first time, he's going to get that sugary hit right in the face, and Zazu is going to learn how to really come out in full color.
Oh my. That was great.
It's fair. It's a good pick. I do have a slightly different direction that I think we could maybe shove Zazu in here.
That's very graphic. Now,
Well,
please
we're
make
shoving
it
him
more
towards
graphic.
love.
Go ahead, Greg.
So, I think if the recent news with Meghan Markle has taught us anything, it's that dynasties are dead. There is no such thing as royalty anymore. And it's all about that Benjamin, baby. You gotta chase where the money is. That's why I think that Zazu should hook up with one Scrooge McDuck, the richest duck in all of the world. Because listen, Zazu has devoted his life to all of these prim and proper procedures and circumstances. He needs to cut loose in the world of unfettered capitalism. He needs to go on fucking jet skis and helicopters and off onto moon bases and really enjoy the finer things in life that this stuffy old boring life of the dynasty of the Lion King simply can't offer.
Oh my God.
Interesting choice. Greg.
Two very, very different picks, but still both birds. So
Yeah, we're extremely specious here at Ships in the Night.
We're just trying to find the right love for Zazu, and sometimes it needs to mechanically work.
For whatever it's worth, I don't think whatever kind of bird Zazu is would fuck a chicken or duck in real life. So if, we have that going on for us.
Who's a chicken here, Greg?
Oh yeah,
His
good point.
name is literally Toucan Sam.
I'm not going to lie, for a second, I was like, Scrooge McDuck, the chicken. I legitimately had a stroke. Chloe, beyond questions of what species we're dealing with here, do you have any questions for us?
Yeah, let me think. So I can understand how Toucan Sam, which I actually never knew his name, so that's pretty cool, met Zazu, because they're both colourful birds in the jungle, probably. How did one Scrooge McDuck come across Zazu?
Oh, that's interesting. I think I can address that.
Okay.
Zach, and you want to take on...
Any questions for Toucan Sam?
What is the age discrepancy there? Are they the same age, or is Toucan Sam a little younger? I'm just curious.
Fair enough. All right, here we go. Toucan Sam may be, I think this may be a May-December relationship where Toucan Sam is a little bit older, but look, Zazu I think is going to be totally cool with that. He needs somebody grounded. He's basically an old man. He's crotchety. And that's the thing with Scrooge McDuck. I think Scrooge McDuck is too adventurous for Zazu. Zazu likes rules. He likes structure. He needs a set schedule. He can't have this crazy jet-setting partner who's never going to stop moving. Look, he needs to get out of his shell, but that's a little more than I think Zazu is ever going to be able to handle.
That's fair.
Okay.
But I think I have a reason for why these two meet up. Scrooge McDuck is a land prospector. He is buying unheard tracts of the unspoiled Serengeti. So literally, Scrooge McDuck deposes the Lion King by nature of buying the land from underneath his feet.
Wow.
And if you're talking about, adhering to a schedule, this is the ultimate power couple. Zazu is the one who's going to organize all of Scrooge McDuck's travel plans and all of his estates. Scrooge McDuck needs someone to keep that capitalism in line.
These are both good points. You guys really know what you're talking about.
Now, shamefully, we can only set Zazu up with one individual. Man. So, Chloe, we are going to ask you, who do you want to ship your friend with?
Oh my god, this is hard. The only thing that makes me feel a bit worried about Scrooge McDuck is that he's grumpy too. So it's just two grumpy people together, and I'm not sure how many friends they'll have. I feel like they're just going to piss everyone off. So although I do love the jet-setting lifestyle, I do love that, I think I might have to go with the fun-loving Toucan Sam.
There we go.
Okay, it's fair. It's fair. I disagree strongly, but you know what? I respect your decision, and I wish Toucan Sam and Zazie the best of luck and love.
They'll while they're doing cereal tours around the world for Fruit Loops, I'm sure they'll run into Scrooge somewhere.
Dude, who do you think finances General Mills? That's all duck money, baby.
Probably. Also, you know that there's somebody's diving into a pool of Fruit Loops at some point.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of Ships in the Night. Chloe, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you.
This was so much fun.
It was so much fun.
If people want to find the stuff that you work on or keep up with you online, where can they go?
Yes. So I have a YouTube channel that I haven't actually posted on for a hot second, but I have one. And that's youtube.com/Chloe and Becky Zak. That's a channel I have with my sister. And then you can also follow me on the gram. That's Instagram, by the way. And that's just at CHLOE ZAK.
Zach spelled Z-A-K.
Yes, CHLOE ZAK. And same on Twitter, which I also don't post on very often. So cool.
I spent so much time yelling at people how to spell my first name correctly, but then your last name is spelled a different way.
Yes, it's
so I'm trying to
confusing.
help people out here.
Yeah, there's many different spellings of Zach, I've realized.
Zach, the first name is used spelled with a C-H, and you will get it right.
Wow.
Spelling it with a C-K is just wrong. You hear that, Zach Morris? I'm coming for you.
Well, I defy you to spell goodness wrong. I am on the tweets at Greg Goodness. You can also find me performing occasionally at the Pack Theater in beautiful, sunny Hollywood, California.
And I'm Zach Wilson. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at @ThatZachWilson. That's ThatZachWilson. I'm making a point of spelling out this week. And you can also catch me on a couple other podcasts I do if you're a huge nerd, which if you're listening to this, I assume that you are. Talk about Marvel movies on Marvel Movie News every Thursday. And for the season, talking about Doctor Who every Sunday night on AfterBuzz TV's Doctor Who After Show. Until next time, guys, this has been Ships in the Night, casting off.